welcome back to Freddy in the Shed. We're up in the Radio Shack. Another retro video this time. And we're continuing with those little cheap shortwave radios that I picked up all those years ago. This time it was a branded Tecsun, which was a little bit more expensive than the other radios. It wasn't that much more. I forget what I paid for it, probably about £15. I'm sure I mentioned it in the video. But out of all of those cheap little radios that I did buy, this was the only one that really worked, and it was quite effective. I do remember picking up quite a few shortwave stations on this radio. I no longer have it. I gave it away to a young lad years ago who showed an interest in shortwave. But anyway, here comes the video. I hope you enjoy it. I want to see you at the end. So thumbs up from Fred in the Shed. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for continuing to watch.
Hello and welcome back. This is my review of the Tecsun R-912 shortwave radio. Now this video is number 1 in the How Low Can You Go series. This is where I intend to look at these very cheap Chinese radios and see just how low we can get in price but still have a fully working product. This Tecsun 912 is going to be at top of the stack. This currently sells for around about 13 to 16 UK pounds delivered. Now Tecsun makes some quite nice radios, and this one's no exception. It's actually a very sensitive little tuner. As well as being quite nicely made, it's also been quite nicely thought out as well. And one of my favourite features of this radio, although it's only a simple thing, is a little plastic fold-out kickstand. It just makes using the radio so much easier. I don't understand why other manufacturers don't do the same thing. It also has a very large and clear tuning window. In total, this radio has 12 bands. First there's your standard FM, 87 to 108. Then your medium wave, 525 to 1610 kHz. And then shortwave, which starts at 3.55 MHz all the way up to 21.90. And that's all nicely spaced out in 10 even bands. It also features a very positive band tuning selection switch. In fact, all of the controls on the actual 912 are very tactile in feel. But overall, it's a very simple radio. If we look on the right hand side of the radio, we have quite a nice precise feeling tuning wheel and then a simple on-off switch. On the left hand side there is a volume wheel, a 3.5 earphone jack and a 3V in DC socket. And then finally, on the back of the radio, we have a standard stainless steel telescopic whip antenna. And then there's your battery compartment. Now, another little simple thing that I like about this radio is that it actually has a ribbon to help you release the batteries from the battery compartment. And quite a few of these cheaper Chinese radios don't feature this. You can end up really having to fiddle and break your nails just to try and get the batteries out. So that's a good feature. So let's see how it sounds. Now, as before, we'll start off in the FM band. Now it has a very small speaker, so it's slightly tinny in sound. It's actually a very sensitive FM receiver. It's better than that Dijon that I reviewed before. Overall, it's actually very good on FM. It is a very sensitive receiver. Moving on to medium wave, the radio does a very good job as well. Stations come in very clear.
28-day window of opportunity, you say?
Ah, yeah, music for the Godfather, the famous love theme by Nino. Through that though.
as a potential political tool.
And finally, now on to shortwave.
Your definitive stop for everything you ever wanted to know about China.
Do you want up-to-date analysis? Amazing video? 邀请去莱比锡做评委，那个单元当中的那个一等奖。其实对我来讲，对一个中国人来讲，就是一个96岁的老太太，居然还坐在那个相片店里。C'est un bâtiment unique pour et qui se voulait un modèle par les hôtels européens de l'époque. Il y avait peu d'établissements hôteliers à ce moment-là qui disposaient de restaurants, de bases de traitement et de salles de...
This little Tecsun does pretty well on shortwave. It's actually quite sensitive, and this will be setting the standards which we shall compare the other cheaper radios to in later videos. Also in the box you get one or two other little things like these rather cheap pair of earphones, but probably more importantly you get this long wire extender that you can clip onto the end of the telescopic whip and just clip this up somewhere in your room, and this really does open the radio up, especially in the evening when shortwave comes alive. You do get the obligatory Chinese instructions, and unfortunately they really are Chinese in this case. There is absolutely no English at all, but thankfully the radio is pretty easy to work out. However, you do get a tuning scale on the back here which just gives you a precise actual details of the bands that the radio will tune to, and a little diagram here as how to place the actual long wire when you attach it to your telescopic whip. So not all is lost, but it would be nice to have got some English instructions. Also you get this sort of fake suede little carrying pouch, which I suppose is quite handy because this is a pocket radio after all. I think the best thing in the box, as far as the extras go, is certainly this long wire, because as I said, that really will help you bring in weaker stations. So in conclusion, I would say for the money this is a very good value little radio. It has particularly good FM sensitivity, and the shortwave's not bad either. I think it's well worth the money they ask for it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here now before I send you all to sleep. And I'd just like to say, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye now.